This is the Chapter 6 overview. This video overview is to give you an idea of what will be covered and what you should focus on in Chapter 6. It should not replace reading the chapter for important details or completing any activity. Chapter 5 focuses on consumer purchases such as an automobile. Major purchases. Identify first what you are looking for and do online research to identify various brands, sources, and compare prices and features. Explore alternatives. Decide what price you can pay and where to buy. Use TMV to determine how much car you can afford. You may find that you may need to look at a used car instead of a new car. Newspaper ads, online advertisements, online car comparison sites such as KBB, and visit local dealers last. Do you want to do new or used, lease or buy? We'll look at leases, the advantages of that, and how much car payment can you really afford. It is very easy to get carried away with style, color, and options and forgetting the importance of internal for cars. If you're looking at a home, you want to also consider resale instead of being real concerned about color, etc. It's best to do a comparison. At the end of the chapter, you can find this comparison chart to use that also has many websites to use to help you research. Always do a comparison. Leasing a car. There are advantages and there are disadvantages. The advantages are that it's a small cash outflow. You don't have to put as much down payment on it. There are lower monthly payments than buying, but I would caution you about this because many of your creditors will require more insurance, an extra insurance, so it may make up for the difference in the lower payment. Lease provides detailed records. It helps if you use your car for business purposes, and you're able to obtain a more expensive car sometimes. The disadvantages are that you have no ownership interest. You must meet requirements. It's very easy. As the next one says, you may have additional costs for extra mileage. If you drive a whole lot every year, then you may find that this is not an advantage for you because you will have to pay additional costs for extra mileage, for turning in the car early, or for some of the repairs. Some of the sales techniques to avoid. Lowballing. A low price quote increases with last-minute add-ons. You want to be careful of that when you get into the dealership or wherever you're purchasing your car. Highballing, a high trade-in offer plus a high new car price. How much can you afford per month? Never leave a deposit unless you're ready to buy. Your price is only $100 above our cost. Avoid that statement. Sales agreements with pre-printed amounts. Again, avoid that. Sometimes it's very difficult to work with dealerships. It can be done, and sometimes you have to walk off. You need to be prepared to do that. Have your research done, have what you want in mind, and don't let them sell you on anything different. Some of your financing sources are banks, credit unions, and dealer financing. It's a good idea to have another source of financing before you go in to look at cars, to have a pre-approved at your bank or at some other credit union. The dealer financing may give you a better deal once you get in there if you've been pre-approved somewhere else. So it's a good idea to kind of get that in place first. Low payment or low rate is not necessarily the best. Sometimes it'll put you in an upside down equity. The car is worth less than the amount still owed on the loan, also called a negative equity. Check the APR and any rebates. Sometimes you'll find that you get 0% interest for 4 years or 60 months, and you might find that is not as good as some of the rebates. So you need to do your comparison there. Most important, do your research on cars and financing before you go in to drive a car or looking for cars. Be sure that you are clear-headed when you go drive and have your research clearly in mind. Avoid deviating from your research without doing more research if other options are presented to you. If you have an idea of a set payment, be sure that if they offer you that payment, that you are not paying for more months. Sometimes they will slip that in. The tips given in this chapter work for most major purchases, including a home. Be sure that you pay special attention to this chapter, as we all will need to buy cars, either used or new, and we all will need to buy a home, and it's a really good idea to have some knowledge of what to do before you go in to do that, so that you don't get paid more than you need to for these large purchases. End of this video.